10 years ago, all it took was one man and one car to get the job done.
Remember when TV execs would spin off literally anything if it meant milking a hit show just one more time? Yeah, we do too. Today we're diving into 5 more 90s spin-offs that probably sounded great in a pitch meeting and nowhere else. Now, if you missed part 1 featuring David Hasselhoff fighting sea monsters and Halle Berry taking the modeling world by storm, don't worry, we have the link in the description below. You can check it out right after watching this. Now, before we get started, don't forget to like and subscribe because we won't waste your time like these shows did. Now let's kick things off with number 1, Saved by the Bell: The College Years, a spin-off of Saved by the Bell, NBC.
Hey!
I think Professor Lasky has the cutest little nose.
Before college, Saved by the Bell was the defining teen sitcom of the early 90s, a Saturday morning staple full of colorful characters, fourth wall breaks, and after-school special moments that always wrapped up neatly in 22 minutes. So when Zack and the gang graduated, NBC figured, why not follow them to college? They decided to bring Zack, Slater, and Screech to California University and move the show to a primetime slot, betting that the fans who grew up with these characters would stick around for their new adventures. The premise seemed logical. The kids were growing up, so why not age the show with them? But as it turns out, the slapstick high school hijinks that worked at Bayside felt weirdly out of place in a college setting. And Zack, well, Zack Morris is trash. His manipulative charm didn't evolve past high school. In college, he became that guy in your study group who contributes nothing but somehow takes credit for everything. The one you'd fake a fire alarm just to escape from. Something still wasn't clicking, so NBC tossed in some wild cards. Former NFL player Bob Golick was their resident advisor, and Tony Award winner and future Emmy winner Holland Taylor as the sharp-tongued Dean McMahon. Apparently, they thought a linebacker and a Broadway legend would give the show a grown-up edge. No, it didn't work. Without the guiding hand of Mr. Belding or the dynamic of the full cast, because Kelly didn't join until mid-season and Jesse and Lisa were completely absent, the show struggled to find its footing. And even with new faces, the show had another problem: time slot whiplash. The jump from Saturday mornings to Tuesday night primetime put the college years against juggernauts like Full House and Rescue 911. The audience that once tuned in during cartoon blocks had other habits by the time dinner was over. So NBC decided to cancel Saved by the Bell: The College Years after just 1 season. To wrap up the story, they released a TV movie titled Saved by the Bell: Wedding in Las Vegas, featuring the main cast including Zack, Kelly, Slater, Screech, Lisa, Jesse, and Mr. Belding. The film concluded with Zack and Kelly getting married in Las Vegas because nothing says higher education like tying the knot in Vegas before finals. As for where the Bayside gang is today, Mark Paul Gosselaar moved on from Zack Morris to star in shows like NYPD Blue, Franklin and Bash, and most recently as the lead antagonist in NBC's Found. Mario Lopez parlayed his Slater charm into a successful career as an entertainment host and TV personality. Elizabeth Berkley appeared in films like Showgirls before returning to television, while Tiffani Thiessen found post-Bayside success on Beverly Hills 90210 and later on USA's White Collar. The cast has remained surprisingly close, often reuniting for dinners and special occasions, proving that sometimes TV friendship really does last beyond the final bell. Number 2, Team Knight Rider, spin-off of Knight Rider, syndication.
They are Team Knight Rider.
The original Knight Rider starred David Hasselhoff as Michael Knight, a high-tech crime fighter paired with Kit, an artificially intelligent, self-aware, and virtually indestructible car. The show's blend of action, cutting-edge technology for the 80s, mind you, and Hasselhoff's charisma made it a cultural phenomenon that ran for 4 seasons from 1982 to 1986. A decade later, as nostalgia for 80s action shows was building, producers asked themselves what made Knight Rider work. Was it the compelling story of one man making a difference, the chemistry between Hasselhoff and his AI partner, the sleek design of a single iconic car? Their answer? Nah. Let's multiply everything by 5 and add more explosions. Remember Kit, the cool talking car from Knight Rider? Well, someone decided what viewers really wanted was 5 talking vehicles, each with a personality more annoying than the last. Set years after Michael Knight's adventures, the show introduced a team of elite drivers using AI-powered cars to fight crime. There was Dante, a smug British-accented SUV, Domino, a flirty Mustang, Beast, a tough guy truck who loved Alanis Morissette, yes, really, And rounding out the 5-vehicle team, twin motorcycles, Cat and Plato, a by-the-book buzzkill and a quote-spewing nerd, respectively. And yes, all of them talked. Constantly. Imagine 5 Siri assistants bickering while you're trying to stop a runaway semi. That's Team Knight Rider in a nutshell. So why did it flop? Well, there was no Hoff, no original kit, and the AI cars had all the charm of malfunctioning Furbies. The team format diluted the cool factor, and that 1997 CGI, well, it looked like it was rendered on a Tamagotchi. The show aired as part of the action-packed block of television alongside cult hits like Hercules and Xena Warrior Princess, but while those shows leaned into their camp, Team Knight Rider struggled with clunky effects and a cast that couldn't recreate the charisma that made the original iconic. While fans still debate whether it was a spin-off or a reboot, Team Knight Rider was officially part of the original universe. It referenced Flag, name-dropped Michael Knight, and even featured background photos of Devon Miles and Kit. Curiously, the new vehicles were deliberately designed with vulnerabilities. After a rogue AI named Crow went off the rails, Flag decided future cars should be damageable, unlike Kit's indestructible molecular bonded shield. Which sounds smart, unless you're making an action show. And here's something most people missed. Every main vehicle was a Ford, the Expedition, Mustang, and F-150. Only the bikes weren't. Turns out Team Knight Rider doubled as a very loud and annoying car commercial. The finale teased the return of the original Knight Rider. Spoiler alert, that never happened. The show was canceled faster than you could say Turbo Boost. Number 3, Highlander the Raven, spin-off of Highlander, the series, syndicated. Highlander the series expanded on the film franchise's premise of immortal beings who could only die by decapitation. The show centered on Duncan MacLeod, a 400-year-old immortal played by Adrian Paul, as he navigated modern life while battling other immortals in the mysterious game where ultimately there can only be one survivor. When Highlander the series ended its 6-season run in 1998, producers faced a dilemma. They had a passionate fan base, international financing, and a concept that allowed for literally centuries of storytelling. So naturally, they decided to test the boundaries of that there can only be one tagline by launching another spin-off. Enter Highlander the Raven, which followed Amanda, the immortal cat burglar turned reluctant heroine, as she teamed up with an ex-cop to fight crime and occasionally decapitate other immortals. Because nothing says compelling TV like a 1,200-year-old thief with a conscience. It was an attempt to ride the wave of female-led action series like Xena and La Femme Nikita. Now, Amanda was a great side character, but as a lead, the storytelling got murky fast. It wanted to be Buffy meets Nikita, but landed closer to La Meh Femme No Thanksa. To be fair, Elizabeth Grayson's rise within the franchise is kind of amazing. She was originally hired for just one guest spot, but fan response was so strong, she became a recurring favorite. Producers even developed 4 new female immortals as possible leads before scrapping them and going with Amanda because, again, fan pressure. The show was filmed in Toronto and Paris as part of an international co-production deal. Behind the scenes, things weren't quite so smooth. Grayson and co-star Paul Johansson, who played broody ex-cop Nick Wolf, reportedly couldn't stand each other. Their lack of chemistry hurt the show, especially since it was supposed to hinge on their dynamic. By the finale, Wolf becomes immortal, walks away from Amanda, and delivers a poetic, moody monologue that pretty much killed the show for good. The sword fights were still decent. I mean, how do you mess up immortals swinging blades at each other? But fans didn't want moody side quests. They wanted Duncan MacLeod. The show was canceled after 1 season, proving that sometimes there really can be only one successful series in a franchise. Number 4, Time of Your Life, spin-off of Party of 5, Fox.
There are 9 million people in this city, and every one of them has a story. Mine is going to be the one that people remember.
Party of 5 was a critically acclaimed drama about the 5 Salinger siblings who had to raise themselves after their parents were killed by a drunk driver. The series tackled serious issues like substance abuse and domestic violence, won a Golden Globe for Best Drama, and launched the careers of stars like Matthew Fox, who later headlined Lost, Scott Wolf, Neve Campbell, who became a Scream Queen in the Scream franchise, Lacey Chabert, who would later star in Mean Girls, and of course, Jennifer Love Hewitt. By the late 90s, Jennifer Love Hewitt had become the breakout star of Party of 5. Her character, Sarah Reeves, evolved from a recurring girlfriend to a main cast member. Meanwhile, Hewitt's movie career was taking off in films like I Know What You Did Last Summer. Fox executives saw dollar signs and made that classic network mistake, extracting a popular character from an ensemble show and giving them their own spotlight. So what happens when a beloved character from a hit drama series moves to the big city? In the series, Sarah made new friends, including Romy, played by a pre-famed Jennifer Garner, and an eccentric building manager, played by Paulie Perrette, before she became famous for NCIS. But without the emotional anchor of the Party of Five ensemble, Sarah's character felt adrift in the big city, kind of like the show itself. While Time of Your Life just barely squeaked into our 90s list, premiering in October of 1999 and getting cancelled in June 2000, it perfectly embodies that late 90s TV executive mindset. You know the one, this character is so popular, so let's yank them out of their context and hope the audience follows. The original plot for Time of Your Life was reportedly reshot and rewritten before airing. Production costs were high, but critics noted that the show lacked any kind of substance. They described it as visually appealing, but shallow. Fox tried desperately to make Time of Your Life work. After initial low ratings, they put the show on a 5-month hiatus to retool it. When it returned in June 2000, they promoted it as part of their Summer of Love. Get it? Because Jennifer Love Hewitt? Anyway, even this clever marketing pun couldn't save the series. Fox canceled it immediately after its return episode, with 7 episodes never even airing in the United States, though European viewers eventually got to see them. I'm curious though, did anyone actually remember this show existed before we brought it up? Drop a comment if you were one of the few loyal viewers who stuck with Sarah's New York adventure, or if you had no idea this existed, type "What the Fox" in the comments below. Number 5, 704 Hauser, spinoff of All in the Family, CBS.
Look who's living in Archie's house now.
Metaphorically speaking.
Metaphorically speaking, lock it up.
All in the Family revolutionized television in the 1970s with its unflinching look at American prejudice through the character of Archie Bunker, a bigoted working-class man constantly at odds with his liberal son-in-law. The groundbreaking sitcom addressed topics previously considered taboo for TV, including racism, homosexuality, and the Vietnam War. By 1994, Norman Lear, the visionary producer behind All in the Family, was looking at a very different America than the one where Archie Bunker first shouted at Meathead 2 decades earlier. Sensing an opportunity to comment on the changing political landscape, Lear returned to the most iconic address in television history with a clever twist on his original format. Imagine taking one of TV's most groundbreaking sitcoms and saying, "Let's do it again, but reverse everything." That's exactly what Norman Lear tried with 704 Hauser in 1994. Set in Archie Bunker's old house, yes, that house, this spinoff featured a black family with liberal parents and their conservative Republican son. Sound familiar? It was All in the Family with the political dynamics flipped upside down. John Amos starred as Ernie Cumberbatch, a liberal civil rights activist who clashed with his right-wing son Goody, played by T.E. Russell. Maura Tierney, before her ER days, played Goody's Jewish girlfriend, adding an interfaith relationship twist that felt like a discounted version of the Archie vs. Meathead dynamic. CBS hoped to revive the magic of the original, but lightning didn't strike twice. The show came across as a pale imitation and constantly reminding viewers of a better show they could be watching. That didn't help. Even with John Amos at the helm, audiences didn't tune in. 704 Hauser was canceled after just 5 episodes aired. But here's the kicker. This was Norman Lear's 5th attempt to extend the All in the Family universe. Including Maude and the Jeffersons, we got Archie Bunker's Place, Gloria, and 704 Hauser. By the time the latter appeared in 1994, it felt less like a spin-off and more like an act of TV necromancy. There is some debate over whether 704 Hauser even counts as a true spin-off. While it featured mostly new characters, the premiere did include Joey Stivic, Archie's grandson and Gloria's son, played by Casey Siemaszko. Despite this, some argue it was more of a reboot or spiritual successor, but Lear clearly intended it as a continuation. Same house, same address, and plenty of bunker baggage. What do you think? Is it a spin-off or a reboot? Let us know in the comments. And there you have it, 5 spin-offs that flopped. Honestly, these shows aren't just flops, they're time capsules of what execs thought we wanted. Spoiler? We didn't. Did you actually watch any of these spin-offs when they first aired? We won't tell anyone, I promise. Which one do you think was the most gloriously awful, or is there another 90s spin-off disaster we should cover in a future video? If you enjoyed this trip down memory lane, make sure to smash that like button and subscribe so you don't miss future nostalgic deep dives. Until next time, this is Remember When. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you then.